Hello everyone, my name is Mouse Tutorial and today I'm going to show you how to make the basic mod file for your mod. So this file is only going to make sure that your mod gets loaded. It is the basic things that it needs to be running. I'm not going to make a block or anything like that, it's just a basic file. And in the next tutorial we will cover how to make the most basic block in the game. And after that we will do some more advanced stuff, but for now we're gonna make the most basic mod file that there is. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to right click on our common folder. I changed it to mouse.mods. I found a more useful name. So go to new and create a new package. A package is a collection of classes, you could say. Now what I like to do is call it com, because of common, then my name, then the mod that it refers to, and that's it. So just make sure that we know it's about source code, we know who wrote it, and what mod it was for. So now we have an empty package. By simply clicking this C or right clicking the package new class, we can create a new class. Now the main mod file should be the mod ID, and a mod ID is a specific name that only one mod can have. For equivalent exchange it's EE3, equivalent exchange 3. So get a basic mod ID that you want and type it right here. So I'm gonna do mouse.mods as my mod name. Cool. So as you can see right now, it automatically declared the package and it created a little bit of code. Now in order for your mod to load, you need a few things. So right above the class, you need to add a annotation to the mod. So add mod. Now in this annotation, and you can write it as you want, it's really no, there are a lot of different coding styles, but I like to do it this way. You want to declare the name, you want to declare the mod ID, and you want to declare the version. Now why do I leave this open? Because I want to talk about how the system I use works. Now there are a lot of different systems that you have. You can have a big main mod file with a load of blocks in the main class, but I don't think that is very clean. I like to keep my code clean. Now therefore I'm going to use a reference class. I'm going to use references. These are all outside the main mod file, which keeps my main mod file very clean, and the stuff is more separated over more mod files. So that's how I like to do it. So in order to keep it clean here a bit, I want to create a new package. So right click your main folder, your common folder, and create a new package called com.martijn, my name, .mouse.mods.lib, and lib stands for library. So we want to create a new class here, references. So this is going to hold all the references for our mod. So let's create a new field, constant, public static final string mod ID. So this is going to hold the constant mod ID, which is going to be mouse.mods. Now how can we refer to this from the main mod file? Now in order to understand this, you need to have a basic knowledge of Java, but what you do is references dots, and if you press the dots, it normally should do stuff automatically, but for now, references of mod ID, import stuff, references. Wow, wait a second, references. Okay, so from name. Okay. Wait. Okay, let's try again. So the name of our mod is going to be declared in the references as well as public static final string mod name, and that's going to be mouse does mods. This can be anything which the user can read, so yeah. And we're going to reference to that by using reference.modName. As you can see, I'm calling the reference class and I'm using modName. Use a comma, and the mod ID is going to be references.modID. And a version I need to create that first. Public static final string version. Why do I do this uppercase? Because it's a constant and it's not gonna change. So that's a Java way. That's just something in Java. Version is gonna be references.version. Okay, so this is what you need for your basic mod. You need an add mod annotation with name, mod ID, and version. And I used reference class. I used the class references to keep my code a little bit cleaner. Now you also need add network mod. This basically tells you if you need a server side and a client side or not. So what you want to type is client side required is true, and server side required is false. Import everything, and you again can import stuff by pressing Ctrl-Shift-O. Ctrl-Shift-O should import everything automatically. So again, you can do it like this, but I just think it's not as clean as doing it like this. It's just personal preferences. Okay, so we have the add network mod annotation. Now inside the class we need to create an add sided proxy. Proxies are really complicated. Basically they make renderers and bind textures. They're doing a lot of things, but just do it for now, I would say. So the client side is equal to references.client_proxy. So what does this mean? Well, client side is an annotation inside a proxy, and the client side is going to be a class. That's going to be the client proxy class. Now you need to give it the location of that client proxy class. So why don't we create the client proxy first, because we need it before we can give it a location. So I like to do that in com.martijn.mouse does mods.core.proxy. So here are the proxies going to be. And this is going to be client proxy. And we also need to create a new class, common proxy. Okay, so inside your client proxy you need to extend common proxy. Cool. The client proxy is for the client side and the common proxy is for the server side. Now we have created that. Now we can create the reference to that. So public static final string client underscore proxy underscore location is going to be equal to, and that will be a parentheses or anything like that. com.martijn.mouse does mods.core.proxy client proxy. So that's the location of my proxy. As you can see, Martijn, mouse does mods, core proxy, client proxy. Now we also need a server proxy location, or common proxy location, as I prefer to call it. Common proxy location is the same location, only it's common proxy. So let's go back to our main file and say references.client proxy location, and the server side is references.common proxy location. Cool. Now in order for this to work, you also need to type public static common proxy. So we are basically using that common proxy. Again, press Ctrl+Shift+O to import everything. So this is setting up the proxies as we had to. Now there's one more thing we need to do, and that is basically loading our mod. So you want to type add event handler, and this is gonna handle, as it says, all the events. Public void pre-inits, and as argument it needs fml pre-initialization event, and I'm gonna call it events. So fml pre-initialization event, or however you want to call it. So this is gonna preload everything. Yeah, basically blocks and everything that needs to be loaded very soon. We also want to type event handler, and we want to load the public void init. This needs the fml initialization event. Initialization events. We also need the event handler public void post init fml post initialization events. Wow. Cool. So import everything and press save. Okay, so once again, we had the add mod notation, which is basically telling the basic information about our mod, the name, the mod ID, and the version. Once again, the mod ID needs to be identical, so it cannot be something that another mod uses as well. So it needs to be different than anything else. Then we said, okay, you need a client side, so you need to be running your client, but you don't have to be running a server. Now this is basically always the same. Then we declare the proxies, where the proxies are and how we are going to use them. And we made the event handler so we can load stuff. Now let's run this by running our modded configuration as I showed you in the first episode. Wait for it a second. And as you can see, Mouse Does Mods is now in the game. It is a mod. It doesn't have quite a lot yet. It actually has nothing. But it is in the game. It is loaded. So you can now start adding stuff. Okay, now I hope you like this. This is just a basic mod, as I said before. This is a basic class. You need this in order to work. In the next tutorial I will show you how to make a basic block. So we will actually be going into making stuff and actually seeing the results. So I hope I'll see you next time. This was my tutorial. Subscribe to my channel, like this video if you liked it, and everything like that. I will see you next time. See ya.